Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Hey yo, hey love, what's up? How you doing today? My name is Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, Just a Brown Girl in America. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, comment, share this video with your friends. I really encourage you to share these videos. It is going to be entertaining, but it will also enlighten you and teach you some things. Also, like it has taught me along my journey. With that being said, I want to get right to it. We have a crisis at the border. I would be safe to say, an invasion. We have an invasion at the United States border. For those of you that do not know, um, the border has been mishandled for a couple of years now, like gravely mishandled. But don't listen to me. I'm going to first, I want to go on the um, homeland.gov website, and we are going to look at some numbers just to kind of give you some insight in this video. We're going to take a look from the beginning of when this stuff happened, going back to when we were going to have a wall built that wasn't able to completely get built. I will personally say that wall was opposed at every turn. Now they would say that it didn't get done, it didn't get done because President Trump was getting fought um, tooth and nail. It was getting called racist, xenophobic, all sorts of things. Anybody who thought the wall was a good idea or needed some type of physical barrier for the border were shot down and accused of horrific things. So, but with that being said, and just to be clear, when I present you information, I don't care what your political bias is. You're from the left, you're from the right. We are here together. We should be able to talk. We will do it respectfully, hopefully. But I'm just presenting the information. Don't blame me. I'm just presenting the information. So with that being said, I want to take a look, and I am going to make myself small here. So this is off the homeland, and I'm gonna show you guys. I actually took it and just kind of copied it on the Word document because I didn't want you guys seeing my toolbar. This is the fact sheet from the Homeland, as you can see, House.gov 2023. And we just gonna kind of go over these little box, but really, so really quick. Sorry, really quick. So, fiscal year 2023, there was an increase of over 40% since 2021, compared 4% compared to 2022, and more than 100% compared to 2019. Last month, 40% increase. Since President Biden took office, there has been 7.5 million encounters nationwide, 6.2 million encounters at the border alone, and then 1.7 million people that got away. Also, we have 169 individuals whose name appeared on the terrorist watch list. Um, we got 35,433 illegal aliens with criminal convictions or outstanding warrants nationwide, including 598 known gang members, 178 of those being MS-13. So that's kind of just the gist of it. And so what I'm going to do is I put together a little video for us. We're going to take a look at it and we'll discuss it a little bit later. So we will kind of move like that.
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Those who come seeking asylum, we should immediately have the capacity to absorb them, keep them safe until they can be heard.
The fact is, the women and children at the border are not a security threat. They are a humanitarian challenge, a challenge that President Trump's own cruel and counterproductive policies have only deepened. And the fact is, President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis, and must reopen the government.
The President of the United States, having failed to get Mexico to pay for his ineffective, unnecessary border wall, and unable to convince the Congress or the American people to foot the bill, has shut down the government. American democracy doesn't work that way. We don't govern by temper tantrum. No president should pound the table and demand he gets his way, or else the government shuts down, hurting millions of Americans who are treated as leverage.
As justification to build a wall that anybody with a sense of respect for data, a sense of respect, for evidence would agree, does not do anything in as far as solving problems, some of which may be legitimate. For example, the drug trafficking problem and the fact that there are a lot of people indeed dying in the U.S. as a result of drug trafficking has nothing to do, with the presence of immigrants in the U.S. And I believe that unless we are clearly in agreement that these are basically lies, supported more than anything else by prejudice, namely racism and xenophobia, we are not going to ever be able to get solutions.
You could check it out. Listen, if I build a wall and the wall is made out of steel instead of concrete, I think people will like that. And here's the other good thing. I'll have it done by the United States Steel Corporation, by companies in our country that are now powerful, great companies again. And they become powerful over the last 2 years because of me and because of our trade policies. So
many months later,
U.S. President Joe Biden signed half a dozen executive orders on Wednesday, reversing several of former President Donald Trump's hardline immigration policies. Just hours after his inauguration, Biden also sent an immigration bill to Congress that proposes opening a path to citizenship for an estimated 11 million immigrants without legal status. The executive actions include immediate lifting of a travel ban on 13 mostly Muslim and African countries and halting construction of the U.S. Mexico border wall. They come as thousands of Central Americans have been on the move in recent weeks, some aiming to arrive at the U.S. border after Biden's inauguration.
Tonight, a common yet dangerous transport option for migrants heading to the U.S. border shut down. New images from Mexico's largest freight company, Ferromex, showing hundreds of migrants riding freight trains in what the operator calls a social and humanitarian issue. The company taking unprecedented action, announcing it is halting service on 60 different trains, the same train system that has routes to major destinations bordering U.S. cities like El Paso, Eagle Pass, and Nogales, leaving large groups of migrants stranded near the track.
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys. Wow.
You will see soon.
New video is sparking even more outrage over the group of migrants accused of attacking 2 New York City police officers. That's what you're looking at on the left hand of your screen. Those guys were freed without bail. And now look at this. Here's one suspect flipping the bird to the cameras. He could care less. Another blows kisses as he smiles and laughs. The other suspect next to him also putting up the middle fingers and cursing at those reporters. Remorseless, brazen, smug. And now the question is, will the Biden administration deport these migrants?
No. That homeowner rushed to get his flag back, but the migrant immediately began punching him in the head. You see it there, put him in a chokehold, headbutted him at least once, that's all according to the homeowner, and threw him to the ground.
I just put my report. Go ahead. You got me? I got a video.
Joining me now is the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. Good morning, Mr. Secretary. I want to start right there. We heard the sheriff say it, the governor say it, and the migrants I spoke to say it. They are coming across because they believe they will be welcomed under the Biden administration. You said yourself 3 weeks ago, we're not saying don't come, we're saying don't come now. President Biden had a stronger message later, but the messages are mixed at best, Mr. Secretary.
Martha, good morning. The message is quite clear. Do not come. The border is closed. The border is secure.
Ask you, I've heard you and the Judiciary Committee recently in the summer testify that the border is secure. Secretary Mayorkas, do you continue to maintain that the border is secure?
Yes.
Faced with a surge in illegal crossings, the Biden administration has announced it is waiving more than 24 federal laws to add on to the border wall in southern Texas.
Thank you, Kareem. As a candidate, President Biden didn't say there will not be another foot of wall constructed that except what was appropriated in 2019. He said there will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration. So something changed. What?
Tonight, the blame game goes on for the unprecedented number of migrant crossings at the southern border.
There's only one reason why this is happening, and that's because Joe Biden has eliminated all of the 4 policies that Donald Trump put in place that led to the lowest illegal border crossings in 40 years.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says his state can't handle any more migrants, so he continues to bus them elsewhere.
And the ongoing GOP dysfunction in the halls of Congress. Today, Senate Republicans blocked the bipartisan border security deal that they had originally insisted be packaged with aid for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. It's the same deal that Republicans were demanding until a few days ago. But as it turned out, Donald Trump did not want it because he wants to use the border issue against Joe Biden in the fall. And this, I suppose, dashed the bipartisan dreams that Biden spoke of longingly when campaigning for office.
Meanwhile,
Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson had this to say about the migrant crisis.
We have a responsibility to make sure that families who are seeking love and support here in the city of Chicago and throughout the state of Illinois, that they are not just welcome, but they are serviced.
It is a slap in the face that we as citizens of the United States of America do not have the resources and support, but you're going to bring people who are not citizens here in our community, in our buildings that we pay taxes for, that you took away from us. That is completely unacceptable. We are in a humanitarian crisis right now. The black people in Chicago are bleeding on the street.
A packed house at the South Shore International College Prep High School. The crowd voicing their opinion, strongly opposing the addition of migrants in their community.
I am just outraged. I'm outraged, and I don't understand why our community was chosen.
City representatives saying the old South Shore High School would not be a shelter, but one of 3 respite centers for the migrants to temporarily sleep, eat, and take a shower, starting with about 250 people taking up the building's first floor. This is a way for the city to get the current 300 migrants out of the police stations.
Mayor Johnson, the black aldermen, the black alderwomen in this city, you will stand for the black citizens of Chicago. Our taxpayers, we're property owners. Our money should go towards fixing our communities.
The city has received more than 15,000 migrants since August 2022.
We have no more room. Y'all are embarrassing Chicago as a whole.
These South and West Side homeowners are angry. They believe the city has overextended itself and should be putting the tens of millions of dollars earmarked for migrants into Chicago's most vulnerable neighborhoods.
But the South Side has been under-resourced, underfunded for years, for decades. We have schools that need to be reopened. We have buildings that are abandoned that need to be business operated.
Watch this video as a black woman by the name of Miss Jackson was taken on a field trip to the 1st District, which is also the Chicago Police Department. Check it out.
Oh my God! I've never seen it. Oh, this, oh, they got mattresses. Oh, this is disgusting. I'm like the ratchet girl Keisha. I ain't never seen this before. They out here. Oh my God. This is disgusting.
Now, of course, you guys know there in Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is a newly elected mayor, has allowed the floodgates to open up and allow migrants to come in there and just camp out everywhere, right? They're also getting resources and housing and just a whole bunch of stuff. Millions and millions and millions of dollars have been allocated toward taking care of the migrants. And even still, it doesn't appear to be enough because there are still migrants flooding into the United States in places like Chicago, New York, and California, just to name a few, right? And so I'm with Miss Jackson in her surprise of it all, like, oh my God.
Oh, hell no. Many are asking, does it piss you off or is it the right thing to do? There's a lot of talk around the country about New York City's new Helping Hand program. It provides migrant families with prepaid debit cards. $53 million have been given to the program, which will give asylum seekers arriving at the Roosevelt Hotel money to help them buy food. Sports journalist Stephen A. Smith does not agree with that choice.
I see homeless folks in the streets of New York all the time that are American citizens. I damn sure see them in California. We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough for them? That's why Trump is on the verge of getting elected. Re-elected.
Got him! Got him!
It's clear that there are families in the city of Chicago who have been ignored for a very long time, right? We got to admit that.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have to admit that. And so I want to make sure that black families who have been left out and that the brown families who want in are not seen as a divided space.
Are you stupid or something?
This is the community that you're pushing us over on.
This was what city officials encountered during a community meeting at South Shore College Prep. There were so many angry outbursts, they never gave their presentation.
I don't have anything else to say. I'm ticked off. You're doing this wrong. You're doing it wrong. 250 people? Give me a break.
More than 8,000 migrants have been bused to Chicago, most of them from Texas, since late August. The city has housed asylum seekers in shelters, Park District facilities, and police stations. City Hall now proposes housing 250 to 500 migrants at the shuttered South Shore High School.
It is a chair for them to sit, a place to decompress, and a place to take a hot shower. That's really what this is, and a nice meal. It's a place to decompress and not be in a police district.
We do not hear from city officials until election time. This is insulting at its best.
Let's have a meet with the Republican Party. If Trump want to come to town, come and meet with us.
Trump 2024.
Come have a meet with us, Trump.
Trump 2024.
We are not going to stand idly by while you starve our community. These are our children, and they will not be targeted while you take and make a better life for a new group that just walked into this country yesterday. $9,000 a month for these people. You know how hard it is? $1,000 to $1,500 for every child, every illegal immigrant child that goes into Chicago public schools. You give them money for uniforms and computers and all these things. We're not going to stand down, and we ask that the Republican Party come and sit down and have a meeting with us.
We're not okay with you taking our resources and giving them to people who don't live here. But now you found money for the migrants. We're calling foul for any independent candidate in the city of Chicago, any Green Party candidate in the city of Chicago, and any Republican candidate in the city of Chicago. Now is your time, because we are done with the Democratic Party.
Baby, so you heard, ma'am. You heard, ma'am. You seen. We went all the way back from the beginning when this started, and they will continue right now to say that actually they'll blame Trump right now because of this bill that's not even a bill. You call it a border bill, but you're still trying to let 5,000 people a day illegally. That's the key word, illegally. First act of becoming an American citizen is illegal. That's your thing. That's the first thing you do. No, no. It's too many. We cannot sustain it. Millions. So let's get to the whole point of this video. Guess where they dumping them? Because this, I'm telling y'all. Yeah, it's a lot of black communities. This is affecting the majority, but I'm gonna go so far as to say the poor communities, the communities that's already struggling. Because where I live, it's a mixture of all kind of people, and we've all struggled together, and we've all done well together. They do not care. They try to divide you with this white black thing. The like I said, the LGBT and straight and this and that, short tall, all that. They do all that to keep your eyes off the ball. This is the have nots. This is the elites versus the peasants. And if you don't think they consider you a peasant, you got another thing coming. I'm telling you, you got them in here beating police up, out on bail. They out on bail because of Democratic policies, far liberal policies. Wanted to defund the police, no bail system. You don't even know these people. Then they ran off. They had to catch them other boys way across the country. It's ridiculous. And you can see in the beginning this was done on purpose because when he was in his debate, he said 11 million people. That was out of his own mouth. I'm just presenting the information. But what it should do is it should upset the poor and the black communities that it's affecting as a whole. Because they not sending them out there to them rich communities or them people with money or with them big fancy lofts and high rises, things like that. Then you got they just actually finally on a second impeachment, Mayorkas over the Homeland Security. He said he's sitting there been saying the whole time the border secure, knowing it's a lie. And they said he want to holler, I'm telling you, they want to fearmonger about anybody that don't agree with them, especially if they are Republicans. That's literally all they do. We talked about that when we went to the beginning of the uncomfortable history and truths about the Democratic Party, how they use fear to antagonize. They use emotions to get you all emotional. So you won't do things logically. What pisses me off about it is that my community will still vote 90, 92, over 90 some percent Democrat, even after all that complaining. Even after complaining about the economy, eggs this much, even after complaining about the crime, they taking your cops. Like, you have to look into what these policies, when they present you some and say it's this bill, look into it because they will create fancy terms that sound good and fluffy. And it's just a bad bill, especially for Black Americans. It's bad. They're designed from the beginning since Lyndon B. Johnson to keep you down. The media want to blame the media. They are absolutely the worst. I don't even want to get into all that, but it's really disgusting. I'm sorry. It's not only disgusting, it's inhumane. Because let's talk about the immigrants that's coming over, crossing that border. You got women and kids being trafficked, fentanyl coming over the border. And if you from where I'm from, you know a lot of people that's dying on fentanyl. And it ain't just in the hood now. It's everywhere because they're lacing it. You got kids, and they shouldn't be. I will argue. Hopefully, they wouldn't take drugs at all, but they order it, and what they would think is like a Xanax or Adderall pill or whatever, and they lacing it with fentanyl. It's not just Mexicans coming over. It's people from China they find it. It's people from the Middle East they find it. Dang, you come over here, we struggling our butts off. These people don't been here yesterday, like the man said. Just got here. They getting housing, $7,000 debit cards, free scooters that they robbing people with, iPhones. Please, if they ain't told you right now that they will never ever put you, I ain't gonna even say the second, third, no, not when it comes to the actual conditions. Yeah, they'll do the affirmative action, they'll do the DEI, excuse me, and prop certain people up in position. When we talking about the real things that real Black Americans that are living in the hood, some places I will argue that used to be neighborhoods, now they're hoods, especially since they're defunding or reallocating funds with the police. They're not locking these kids up. We are out here scared, but they will argue and whine and cry and beat you down with white supremacy like that's the biggest threat. Not saying that racist people don't exist, because that's all across the board, black, white, whoever, you're gonna find biases. But white supremacy is not our biggest issue right now. I would say that's so far down the list. So, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video. Get the word out. Get the word out. Go, please watch my videos. I'm getting better at this. We're gonna keep pushing through. I'm gonna say it again. Like, share, and subscribe. How do you keep saying like, share, and subscribe? Because you got to like, share, and subscribe. So YouTube will start showing people the video. That being said, my name is Nikki. I'm just a brown girl in America. Peace out.